Hello, beautiful people. These are all my thoughts and opinions based on information out in the public domain. Uh, Only my thoughts and opinions, okay? If you have any other info, you can share in the comment section, okay? This is just a forum for all of us to express our thoughts on certain topics. Before I get started, please like, share, and subscribe. But I wanted to talk quickly because some of the sugars found out the website and the Facebook page and of my schools that I have and the clinics, and they have gone there and left really trashy, very disgusting messages, and even wishing people ill and stuff like that. I managed to talk to Facebook and see if they can take them down because they're quite awful. For the record, I've been doing this thing about the school and the clinic since 2014. Again, I only started it because of the farm. It's very, very poor area around there where I have the farm. And most of the children don't go to school because they much rather work out in the streets selling fruits or whatever because they're that poor. So, and I started with the employees in my farm because they have children, and they wanted to bring the children into the farm to work. So instead, what I did is I said, you know what, I'll start a little school, and they get free breakfast and free lunch. It was an incentive because most of these kids don't get that, and it just grew from there. So this is why I appreciate all of your donations. I mean, I keep those things going because the parents got involved and former teachers donate their time teaching the children. The parents get around cleaning the thing, and some of them know how to work with wood, and then they make the chairs for the children. I'm trying to get some laptops for them as well. So yeah, I mean, so for them to leave something that nasty, wishing even death of some of the people or some of the elderly people that I look after, it's not a good thing. You know what I mean? This is why I haven't mentioned them or given the Facebook pages, because I know you are very wonderful, and I know many of you, my viewers, want to know about it and genuinely help. But it has also a dark side to it, as you all know. So I don't publish them, but they found out. So I managed again to talk to YouTube to Facebook, and they're gonna take terrible ones, and they're allowing me to monitor the reviews page, because usually they review, and as a page whole person you don't have access to control the reviews, but they're giving me that, given how vile the things are that they've said. So thank you, all of you, for your support. Thank you for donating to my PayPal account, and thank you for sharing, liking, and listening to me. That really helps a lot. I closed down the petition. I said I was going to close it down on Wednesday, but why wait another day? I thank all of my other YouTube fellow people who have helped promote that thing, but it didn't even get to 3,000. So what's the point? Another day is not going to make much of a difference. So I closed it down. That was just an idea I had to give you guys a forum, because had we reached 10,000, it would have been published by the newspapers. I had already talked to them, but we didn't manage to reach that in 10 days. So 11 days is not going to make another difference. So I closed the petition. So let's get started with this. Some good news. The Minister of Justice of the United Kingdom has spoken out today about amending the laws for privacy and freedom of speech. And I got to tell you something. This is in regards specifically to the Meghan Markle case, because this is outrageous. Because I understand, if it were up to me, I don't think summary judgments should exist. I mean, the idea in the summary judgment is that the judge listens to all evidence put forth and then makes a decision. But in this case, even the judge didn't allow any evidence to be put forth and took it all at the mouth of Meghan Markle and refused to look at any of the evidence. That according to the summary judgment, according to the rules to have a summary judgment should have been heard, nothing was allowed to be presented. Okay? So how can you make a summary judgment on something if you don't have the full picture? And this is why they're taking the case to the Supreme Court. But now this is really interesting because RAB has decided to amend the laws finally. So can you imagine? And this is happening in a few weeks, which leads me to believe that maybe they knew that the judge was going to rule in favor of, the judges were going to rule in favor of Meghan Markle, and they were just waiting for that decision to use this case to propel or to move the law to be passed quicker in favor of making the amendments. You know what? I don't know if I'm explaining myself. They needed another case, high-profile case, to push forward the changing of the laws in case of freedom of expression, because freedom of expression is becoming an extinct thing. So this is great because it's really weird that they had the laws ready to be amended rather quickly. So I think that they knew that these woke judges were going to uphold this because they are determined to legislate. And the job of a judge is not to legislate, is to apply the law. So by them refusing to all evidence be heard before making a judgment and saying, no, we don't need to hear all the rest of the evidence. Actually, that is the exact definition of what it takes to give a summary judgment. You have to listen to all evidence presented. It's just done quicker instead of, over the months of period. And they haven't done that. So I think that the Minister of Justice was waiting for this case, and he's going to use it now to amend the laws. And apparently this is going to happen within a few weeks. And I think that Associated Newspapers is waiting for that laws because apparently they have the majority of ministers who are just waiting for the proposal to be put forth to be passed in Parliament. Now, the interesting part of it all, remember when I talked to you about Queen's consent? And there's a difference between Queen's consent and royal assent. Queen's consent is that any topic to be discussed in Parliament has to be sent to the Queen or the monarch, in this case, the Queen, to ask permission to discuss this in Parliament. So and this is sent months ago. This was sent months ago because then apparently RAB has had time to write up a proposal, and writing up proposals, it involves talking to lawyers. So it's an extensive process, which means that the Queen gave permission, our most glorious Queen gave permission for Parliament to discuss this and put this forth because it's very much needed. And then what happens is the proposal will go rather quickly because I'm pretty sure that all the legwork has been done. So this is, and when this, I am assuming Associated Newspapers is going to take this to the Supreme Court after the law is passed. They have, I think, 3 months or something like that to put that forth. This is why the Minister of Justice is really pushing it really quickly in these weeks. So come of January, they will have new freedom of speech laws, which will benefit the case for Associated Newspapers. That's what I'm thinking. Now, this is very disturbing to me because this is another topic. Meghan Markle new podcast with the BBC. Part of me is happy that they are doing this because, you don't interrupt your enemy when they're digging their own grave. If anything, you give them an extra shovel, you know what I mean, to dig their grave deeper. Because I am not worried about what they're going to say, because by now the whole world knows that they're liars. They know that Meghan Markle is a bold-faced liar. And this is just my opinion, but it's not even an opinion anymore. It's a fact that she is a liar. So now they're postponing the BBC because it's the BBC, ladies and gentlemen, who's doing all of this, my beautiful people. Yeah, you can see all my wrinkles. I don't care. doing the podcast with Harry and Meghan Markle new podcast that's gonna leak bombshells. What bombshells? More bomb lies, if you ask me. Complete full of lies. And I think that the reason why they're postponing it is not because they're saying anything truthful at all, but because they know that it hurts the Queen to see her grandchild being such a bold-faced liar, slanderer. You know what I mean? Because yes, Prince Charles wrote that nasty, and I urge you beautiful people, go look at the 1994 biography by Prince Charles. You go get it. See if you can get it online or whatever. It is absolutely appalling. He trashes the Queen, and he released the book right before the Queen went on the historic visit to Russia. I think it was the first time a monarch had been to Russia. You know, it was really historic. It was a big deal. And he released the book right before the Queen went. And because the book backfired, he then proceeded really quickly to give that famous interview. Remember that he gave that interview in 1994? And when the Queen actually went to Russia, because I think it was within a week, nobody was talking about the visit of the monarch to Russia, which was incredibly important. It was really nice. Everybody was talking about Charles. So, but even as nasty and disgusting as that biography was, by the way, he's never apologized for it. He didn't lie. It was just his perception of how he viewed his parents. But Harry and Meghan are lying. I mean, it's a complete lie. A complete lie. So I think that the reason why they're postponing the BBC podcast with Harry and Meghan is not because there's any bombshells. What are they going to say? Oh, my dad was racist. Oh, I didn't like Camilla. My dad was screwing Camilla all the way through. We all already know that. Everybody knows that Prince Charles never stopped seeing Camilla. Everybody knows that. So what? You know, but they lie. So I think that they're not doing it because there's any truth to anything. But I just think that they're postponing it for Harry and Meghan's benefit, you know, and because the BBC also got this big backlash and they were found out with that Amol Rajan guy who turned out to be such a how do you call it, a weasel. And he was found out. So I don't understand why they don't let them go ahead and do it. You know, it's just going to be another stone in their grave. The Queen is going to be more disappointed, but can the Queen really be more disappointed at Harry right now? I think we all know what Harry is made of by now. And Meghan, we've always known that she's a snake. What is the big deal? And now Mr. Markle has come out about the Sizzler thing, you know, and he said that he can count with his fingers the times that they went to Sizzler. And that, yes, she got the salad as a side dish, but that she got her own big full meal and everything. But they barely went to Sizzler, but they mostly would go to really expensive restaurants because this little princess only liked the good stuff. You know what I mean? So, oh, and by the way, you know that he managed, when he was in the set of Married with Children, he managed to get Meghan Markle walking part. You know, she was walking in with Kelly, the character of Kelly, as one of their friends. You know, she was there. He got her that. You know what I mean? So he's already come out and said that they were not rubbing their pennies for money. You know, that they were not, that she went to really expensive places, that he doesn't understand what she's talking about, and that she's a big, bold-faced liar. So for all of you, she's another Hillary Baldwin. Another Hillary, and you know, Hillary's name is Hillary Lynn Hayward Thomas. That's how white that chick is, you know what I mean? So there's nothing Spanish about her. And I'm sorry I'm going on about Alec Baldwin, but it's actually quite disgusting what's happening. It is really quite disgusting. I'm going to do a video about that because I am really disgusted by all of that. He shot that woman. This is why I kept wondering, how did the bullet go through? Only if you're at a close range, you know, can the bullet, especially of a Colt 45, can go through somebody like that and get somebody else. You know what I mean? So, and that he says that He didn't know. He thought that she fainted. He's that close to that woman. I can tell you, I have fired guns and rifles. You know, I'm a farmer. I'm in a farm. And I can tell you that when you shoot a gun, you feel it in your hand. And when you see somebody who's that close to you go down, you know what's happened. I mean, and you smell them. Oh, he didn't know for 45 minutes. He thought that she fainted. How can he know? How can he thought that for 45 minutes if the ambulance was called almost immediately and there is blood everywhere? So I find this really repulsive that he has done. Him and his, I'm sorry, I'm going to call her skanky, deranged wife have done. That they made it all about themselves, their PTSD and everything. Forget about the woman, you know, the beautiful, you know, Helena, who he shot and killed. To me, he's like, when you get in a car drunk, your intentions are not to kill somebody. Your intentions is to get yourself home, even though in a drunken state. But you still get in the car, you still drive, and you still kill somebody while driving. That is called, I think, manslaughter. And from what I understand, the difference between first-degree manslaughter and second-degree manslaughter is that the first-degree manslaughter, you're already breaking the law. So it's like when you're drunk and you get in the car and you kill somebody, you're already in the process of committing a misdemeanor when you end up, you know, killing somebody because you were drunk driving. And whereas with the second-degree manslaughter, you don't. You were not doing anything negligent. You know, it was really an accident. But in his case, he was breaking the law. He didn't wait for the armorer. The armorer was nowhere in sight. Why didn't he wait for it? And he knew the rules. He knew the rules. So he broke many rules. And now he's trying to get away with it and say that it's Helena's fault or he didn't do this. You know, it's disgusting. And he's managed by Sunshine Sachs, just like Harry and Meghan. It's incredible, the parallels of entitlement. You know, it's like Harry and Meghan have fallen into the trap, an entitlement trap of victimhood, that no matter what they have, it's never enough. Oh, I'm so bad. I'm only a multi-millionaire. I'm not a billionaire. How hard this is for me. I like to see them come to my farm and see how people really live in poor. It's disgusting how Meghan went to Africa and she's surrounded by women who have gone through the worst atrocities, who are in dire poverty, saying that her life is hard. You know, it really, if anything, for me, when I'm in my farm, I feel so fortunate, you know, and I'm so glad I'm able to help them in some way. You know, it's just like Harry now saying that he needs the titles to help the veterans, but because he doesn't have the military titles, he can't help the veterans. Can this guy be more of a fucking moron? Can he be more of a fucking moron? That's basically saying, that's throwing a tantrum and saying, if you don't give me my titles, I won't help the veterans. He's a jerk, and I don't think the veterans should be working with an idiot like that. But those are just my thoughts and opinions. What do you guys think? Anyways, thank you for listening to me, my beautiful people. I was thinking my son's coming next week, so I thought I'd do a live a little bit on the 22nd or something. So, anyways, thank you for listening to this old woman. And please share, like, and subscribe my videos. And thank you once again for your donations. They really help out a lot. Thank you.